Deputy Speaker, sir, I rise today to speak as a historian and a humble, ordinary citizen of India.
Humble, yes,
We,
not ordinary.
we have to rise above party in order to honor the martyrs of Jallianwalabagh, the innocent men, women and children who were gunned down in Amritsar nearly 100 years ago on 13th April of 1919. It was, of course, General Reginald Dyer's orders that were obeyed by the soldiers who had their fingers on the triggers. But there was also a British governor, Michael O'Dwyer, who was holding festivities in Lahore in preparation for his departure from India. Curfew was imposed, crawling orders were given. There was a place in Gujranwala that was strafed from the air. What we need to remember today is that the blood of Hindus, Muslims and Sikhs mingled in the earth of Jallianwalabagh. And that is the unity of all religious communities that we must strive for today. Who were the leaders of the Punjab who were leading the movement, the Satyagraha, in 1919? On the one hand, there was Dr. Satyapal. On the other hand, there was Saifuddin Kichlu. And the committee that had been established by the Indian National Congress was chaired by none other than Madan Mohan Malviya, and the committee included Motilal Nehru and Mahatma Gandhi. And we know that our great poet, Rabindranath Tagore, renounced his knighthood when he heard of this awful tragedy. He did not wish to wear any badge of been given by the satanic government, the British government of 1919. The Satyagraha that was being conducted was a campaign against a lawless law, the Rowlatt Act, which would have enabled the British to hold Indians in prison without charge, without trial, in peacetime. They were trying to have wartime ordinances turned into a peacetime legislation. The people of India resisted, and the Amritsar massacre marked the final psychological alienation between the British colonizers and the Indian people who had been colonized. I would also like to add that there was an aftermath of the great Amritsar tragedy. Our revolutionaries like Bhagat Singh and Udham Singh were products of the tragedy that took place on the 13th of April of 1919. And 10 years after 1919, Bhagat Singh and his comrades were in Lahore jail, and there was a hunger strike by political prisoners. And the British tried in the Central Legislative Assembly here to pass another lawless law. They tried to say that these prisoners would be tried in absentia because they could not be brought to court. And our great nationalist leaders of that time opposed that move resolutely.
Right.
And again, as someone from Bengal, I would like to mention that of the hunger striking prisoners, Jatin Das died after 2 months of being on fast. And when 64 days, as Sugata Bose has been saying. Now, when the body of Jatin Das was brought from Lahore to Kolkata, it was none other than Subhash Chandra Bose who presided over the funeral. And he came back to his home with the Osti of Jatin Das and asked his sister-in-law Bibhabati to preserve these immortal remains of our great revolutionary with care. And finally, Deputy Speaker, sir, I would also like to mention another historical fact. In 1943, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose traveled by submarine from Europe to Asia. He started his journey on the 8th, 9th of February. And he knew that he would be on a submarine for nearly 3 months. And therefore, he had left a broadcast, recorded broadcast, that went on the air on the 13th of April of 1943 in order to pay tribute to the martyrs of the Amritsar massacre. So I would appeal to this government that please do not bring a divisive bill on this particular issue. Let us all join together and unitedly honor the memory of those who fell 100 years ago on the 13th of April of 1919. Let us leave all party bickering behind us, and let us all together say that we will strive for the unity of all of the religious communities of India, and let us bow our heads in memory of the martyrs of Amritsar. Jai Hind.